Welcome to Rebel Chaser. My name is Gail, and I've got a video for you from Judge Nelson in Texas. I'll let you guys watch this one.
All right, Mr. Welch, what do you have?
Yes, Your Honor. I have 353506 Bell County case. And this, Your Honor, this hearing's about uh, essentially Mr. Conrad is asking for DNA testing, but there is an acknowledgement of paternity.
All right, let's get this one on the record, and we'll explain. I'll have Mr. Conrad shows, prove up why the court should grant a DNA test on a 6-year-old child. So yeah, here we go. I'm sorry, it'll be 6 this year. Thank you. At this time, the court's on the record, and this is Bell County Cause number 25 DFAM 353506. This is the interest of Conrad minor child. Non-custodial party being Nicholas Charles Conrad, custodial party being Shelby R. Hinkle. And this matters before the court on a original petition to sue the affecting parent-child relationship with AOP. The court will note for the record both parties have previously been noticed and served. Both parties are present today. My understanding is from the state's initial information given the court is that Mr. Conrad is requesting DNA at this time. However, the court will note again that there's an AOP, a knowledge of paternity, was signed in this matter and attached to the pleadings that shows both the mother and the father agreed to paternity on this matter back on 8/26/2019. Yeah, signed in by both parties at that time. Anyway, I'll ask the state at this time for an opening to tell the court what the state's requesting we do here today. And then after it's all said and done, we'll allow Mr. Conrad to make his own opening statement to tell the court why he's requested this and why he thinks he's entitled to it at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. So state understands that yes, there is a acknowledged paternity on file. The state attached it to our pleading as State's Exhibit A. And essentially, Your Honor, state understands that Mr. Conrad believes that the presumed father of the child who actually signed the denial that was part of the AOP, presumed father's name apparently is Devin Hodges. He believes that he may be the actual biological father, and so understands that Mr. Conrad has said that Miss Hodges has said to Mr. Conrad that he is not the true father. So he's asking for DNA testing, Your Honor. The state, Your Honor, I see a valid acknowledgement of paternity on file that includes a denial by the presumed father. Therefore, Your Honor, I have to object. My client demands it. But I'm not going to make a major objection, let's just say, on that.
I understand your priority, sir. I understand mine too. And again, I still want to get some testimony because the father's alleging that the mother's has given contradictory information. So let's find out what that's about, and I'll make a finding on whether or not the court's going to go ahead and ask for order a DNA test at this point. So is there anything else on this one at this, Mr. Welch, before we get started from the witnesses?
Other than that, the state understands that Ms. Hodges believes that Mr. Conrad is the father. That's all, Your Honor.
All right, then. All right, folks, let's go ahead and get some testimony going at this time. I'll ask both of you to raise your right hands, Mr. Conrad and Ms. Hodges Hinkle now. Is that correct, ma'am?
Let me see. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. It's Shelby Hinkle now, correct?
Yeah, so it's Hodges. Hinkle was my maiden name.
Okay, thank you. All right, then, ma'am. All right, then, but again, ma'am, I'll ask you both, you and him, to raise your right hands. Do both of you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give this court today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth will help you?
I do.
All right, you're both officially on the oath, and I'm going to go ahead and let the state call you as witnesses, and we'll take this matter up as far as the father's request is for DNA testing. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. State calls Shelby Renee Hodges. What is your full name?
Shelby Renee Hodges.
The name that we have on the pleading for you, the last name we have on the pleading for you, Hinkle, what is that?
That is my maiden name. We signed an acknowledgement of paternity because I
got it.
married.
We'll get to it, ma'am.
Okay.
We'll get to it. So first of all, ma'am, who is the father of the child, in this case, named Damien Leon Conrad?
Nicholas Conrad.
All right. Could there be anyone else that
No.
could be the father of the child?
No.
And when was the child born?
12/2/19.
So how old is the child then?
He'll be 6 in December.
All right. Who is Devin Hodges?
That is my ex-husband.
So you are no longer married with Mr. Hodges?
We are in the middle of a divorce as we speak.
Has there been a decree of divorce by a judge?
Not yet. We are waiting to get to our court date.
All right. When did you two get married?
We got married in 2017. 2016. Sorry, December of 2016.
Around the time that that Damien was conceived, did you have sexual relations with anyone else?
Nope.
Did you ever tell Mr. Conrad that he was not the biological father?
Nope.
When did you tell Mr. Conrad that he was the biological father?
When I took the pregnancy test when we were living together in April of
April
2019.
All right, man, real quick,
has,
when did you and your husband separate?
We separated in 2017.
Okay, thank you.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, and where were you living at the time you and Mr. Conrad were together? What city?
We were, when me and Nicholas first got together, I moved in with him in Copper's Cove.
All right, then, and how long did y'all live together, ma'am?
We lived together for 5 years.
All right, then, and during that 5 years, has Mr. Conrad ever, to your knowledge, filed anything and done anything to revoke that original knowledge of paternity?
No.
All right, and and who does the child is 6 years old? Who does the child understand his father to be?
Nicholas Conrad.
Okay. And as far as Mr. Conrad's family is concerned, do they consider this child to be his also?
Yes.
Okay. All right, then. Thank you very much, ma'am. Any other questions to this witness? I'm sorry. And ma'am, where does your current husband live? I mean, the gentleman you're divorcing.
He lives with his mother in Wildwood Apartments in Temple.
All right, thank you. All right, then, Mr. Welch, any further questions to this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and let you call your next witness, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. State calls Nicholas Charles Conrad. What is your full name?
Nicholas Charles Conrad, Sr.
All right. So first of all, do you are you asking for genetic testing?
Yes.
All right. Briefly explain to the court why you're asking that.
During the times of our 5 years of living together, it was not consistent. It was on and off due to arguments and times where she packed all her things and left for numerous days or weeks at a time. Within that time, I don't know where she was at, but her grandmother would bring her back with all of her things. She's still married to the man that she says she's been trying to go through a divorce with and still in close communications with him in all forms and manners. I don't believe that they're even trying to get a divorce because even I have.
All right, sir. But so has she ever told you that you are not the biological father of Damien?
During heated arguments, yes.
When was the last time she told you that?
Oh man, this is before we even separated. I'll shoot for 2019.
All right. So why did you sign this acknowledged paternity if you don't believe you're the actual father?
I had beliefs that I was the actual father at the time due to them stating that they were going through a divorce, me funding it, saying that paperwork didn't go anywhere. I had beliefs that I was the father if they were divorced and separated as stated.
Did she tell when did she tell you that you weren't the father before or after you signed this acknowledged paternity?
We've had arguments before whenever she slashed her couch and after all throughout.
Have you since 2019, have you done anything to try to get this wiped away? This acknowledged paternity wiped away?
I've talked to attorneys. The first thing they told me was to simply try to at least get a genetic testings if I even have questionings of the child possibly being mine. Hence why I asked for paternity test.
Have you gotten any personal testing done?
Not personally, in case it was a court appointed thing that I had to go to a court appointed appointment for that. But if need be, I could set an issue.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. Anything else you think I need to know, sir?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, when did you seek legal counsel on this matter? You say you talked to an attorney. When was that? When did you first do that?
I talked to an attorney upon receiving all of my paperwork the first time, handed over by a officer back in June.
In
Okay.
honor, I can get the service date. It looks like Mr. Conrad was served on May 23rd, 2025. And Your Honor, we reset this case last time, I believe, to allow him to get an attorney, but it doesn't appear that he wants that now.
All right. Again, folks, here's the problem. Okay, before I start going down my little legal mumbo jumbo path here, are there any other witnesses you wish to call at this time, or you need to do a readdress to mom?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Here's the problem, folks. Again, sir, you had 60 days from the date of signing off on that AOP to do something about it, to rescind it. It didn't take place. Also, and I have not looked at this in a long time, but there is actually a statute of limitation against setting aside an AOP after 4 years. And I've got to double check this because again, I have not looked at this in a while, but I'm going to double check it before I make a final ruling on this. If you're claiming that there was fraud, duress, or anything else to set aside that acknowledged paternity, you had 4 years to do it. Right now, I don't think legally, I don't think it can be set aside. I'm going to go ahead and double check it on that. So I'm going to give myself a week to do to double check the law on this and find out whether or not that there's even the opportunity to do it and see how it might be done. But this time, sir, again, my legal opinion is right now I don't think that can be set aside because this thing is over 5 years old. And the other part is about this, sir. You got a 6-year-old young man that thinks you're his dad, and I'm really not happy about having to try to set that aside, sir.
The
Uh,
same thing is being said about me not being able to have access if I am presumably the father. I have not had access whatsoever if I
okay.
am.
Well, again, sir, the deal is it's been more than 4 years, and I'm going to and again, the judge has not looked at that aspect of it in quite a while. Usually, we get these things that when they're not 5, 6, 7 years old, like this one is. So I'm going to go ahead and do the preliminary research on this one, Mr. Welch. You want to double check that to see whether or not there's a deadline for challenging an acknowledged paternity in the state of Texas, and
I believe I can give you the statutes now, Your Honor. So assuming they haven't changed in the latest update, so it looks like for an opportunity and denial opportunity filed on or after September 1st, 2011, challenge may be commenced at any time before the issuance of an order affecting the child. Looking at the actual statute itself, Family Code Section 160.308, challenge after expiration of period for rescission. After the period for rescission has expired, and that period for rescission is uh, may be rescinded by filing a rescission form before the earlier of the 60th day after the AOP or denial was filed with the vital statistics place, or the date the proceeding was initiated to adjudicate an issue relating to the child. So before the earlier of the 60th day after.
Okay, yeah, that's the general stuff. Yeah, okay. All right. Anything else, Mr. Welch?
So it looks like, Your Honor, just based off of what I'm seeing, that the period of rescission is over with.
Oh yeah, long
So
over.
if he would want to challenge it, he would challenge it based off of fraud, duress, or material mistake or fact. And this proceeding may be commenced at any time for the issuance of an order affecting the child, including an order relating to support. So there hasn't been anything like that, Your Honor. I don't know the truth of what this is, but it appears that that the period he can still do it. That's it, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Well, again, I'm going to do some long range research on this because this doesn't happen too often. And so I had to look at this and probably since the early 09 to 2010, something like that. So it's been a while. Well, I'm gonna go. Here's what I'm going to do, folks. Here's the deal, Mr. Conrad. I'm going to go ahead and grant this DNA test. But here's the but I'm also going to order before I grant it, you make a $250 deposit with the district clerk of Bell County, Texas, to cover possible cost of this if the child turns out to be yours, because I'm going to release that to the state or however they want to try to do it. But I want a deposit against that, sir, and before the test is done. And I'm going to go ahead and set this up. I want you, if this is your son, I want you to have no doubts in your mind whatsoever, because I don't want that to interfere with your raising of your child. Because the bottom line is, at the end of the day, if the child's yours, I'm going to go ahead and give you access visitation, and I expect you to be a proper father to this young man, because too many of these things happen where they're not. And we've lost a generation here, and I don't want to lose another single child, period. So that's the deal I'm going to go with, sir, just to put your mind 100% at ease one way or the other. We're going to find out one way or the other. Again, ma'am, the norm is I wouldn't even think about doing this, but again, I want him to be assured that this is his child, because I want him to have a relationship with his child going forward. Because right now it's too late to do anything with your husband. That's gone. That's way past the time frames that I can do anything. So we're going to go ahead and get this set up and get it done. And until then, I am going to order temporary child support, because by law you're the father, sir. So I'm going to go ahead and set up temporary child support going forward. Has the state got any guideline amounts for those?
I apologize, Your Honor. I don't know what um I don't know what his income or or what the insurance the child is on currently. But I can ask some questions about that.
All right, well, get that over. Give me that, because again, it's going to take about 60 days before we get started, and I want to go ahead and set this up, because by law, he's dad. He's obligated to pay child support and maintain health insurance, and I want to get that set up immediately to start the first day of December, and then I'll let y'all look at a reset date sometime in January when the DNA testing is back, when we can make a final determination one way or the other. So let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and look at naming them temporary. Well,
I have one question related to the temporary child support.
yes, sir.
During that child support temporary, am I being enforced to have my rights of having my son on the standard issue days
First.
during that temporary time? Yes.
Sir,
I'm
so
trying
long
to
as
get
you're
back to
doing the
that.
DNA, as long as you're doing this denial with DNA, I'm not going to order visitation, sir.
Okay,
That's,
that was all I had.
I don't put kids in the middle of this. Once we get the paternity done, we done. But I'm not gonna put a child in circumstances where he could even have the possibility of hearing anything about this DNA test. And I don't want either you. Well, he's gonna figure it. He may figure it out once they take him to get the mouth swab. But 6-year-olds may not understand what that is. So I don't want neither of y'all going into any detail with him about it. All right.
Understood.
Okay. All right, Mr. Welch, give me some info, and let's see whether again, I normally order child support while these things are pending because you did sign the paperwork, and this is some really old paperwork now. So I'm looking at doing it at this time because with the holidays coming up, we may not get the chance to get this done till sometime in late January, early February. And I want to go ahead and get some orders in place while we're waiting, at least for the child support. And then once we get the DNA test, we'll come back and set up the visitation orders as necessary. Any other questions at this time? And I'll start with you, Mr. Conrad.
The only thing that I was trying to do is that when it comes to the visitation, I can't do anything until the paternity test is passed and it's shown that the child is actually mine. I have no issues when it comes to the actual temporary child support hold, as long as we can see what goes on in the future with the actual DNA testing. That's just my only concern.
All right, sir. And please keep in mind, next time around, you come back, Dad, we will be looking at possible child support payments since you and the mom separated, okay?
Yes, I have no issues with payments as long as I have the rights and can see my child. That is
okay. And of course, if you are the father, then we will definitely set up what's called the standard possession order, and based on how close y'all live by each other. And I think y'all both in the same county, so that's not going to be a problem. So anyway. But for right now, that's what I'm looking at doing, and I will not order the possession until we get the DNA test back, get the positive DNA test back. We'll start your visitation day 1, sir. Thank you. All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am, any questions?
No, sir.
All right, then. All right, Mr. Welch, anything else, sir?
I should let Ms. Walker has given us a date to come back, Your Honor. January 13,
okay.
2026 at 9 a.m.
All right, then. But anyway, go ahead and get the financial data and come back with that, and let's see about setting up payments for December 1 and January 1, and we'll see y'all back after the new year, folks, okay?
Oh wait, Your Honor, you don't want to do it you don't want me to get the data and testimony here?
I'm sorry? Oh, I thought you were going to go get it out on the side, but you can go ahead and get that information now, and we can figure out what it is. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. So the state recalls Miss Shelby Hodges. What is I already said what your full name is. What is the health insurance that the child is currently on now?
He's on Medicaid, Superior Health Plan.
Do you have access to private health insurance?
Not until after December, when I'm fully hired on at my job. Then he'll be on private.
What about same thing for private dental insurance?
Same thing, yes.
And as far as you're aware, how does Mr. Conrad make money?
His tattoo. He does tattoos under the table.
So he owns a tattoo shop?
No, he does them under the table. They come to him.
Do you know how much he makes from that?
No, I don't. We've been separated for almost 3 years now, so it's probably changed since then.
Pass a witness. All right, thank you very much, ma'am. Y'all say you separated. When did y'all? What was the? Well, I'll say that, but you're saying y'all been separated for almost 3 years now.
Almost 3 years, yes, sir.
All right, we'll get a precise date when we come back. All right, thank you. All right, almost 3 years. All right, any other questions of the witness then at this time, Mr. Welch?
Not of this witness, Your Honor.
All right, call your next, please. Thank you.
State calls State recalls Mr. Conrad. Mr. Conrad, so do you have access to private health insurance at this moment for the child?
No.
What about private dental?
Pay out of pocket, but you do. No, I don't even have access to Social Security cards to.
All right, got it.
Yeah. Mr. Conrad, this is not a football game, and Mr. Welch didn't tell you just go long. Okay, listen to the question, answer the question, and we just deal with the one question at a time. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Conrad. Um, how do you make money?
I do tattoos for a living.
And how much do you make from that?
It ranges depending on how busy I am, depending on political things and changes of the economy as well. So one month I could make upward of like $2,000. Sometimes it could be just over 1,500 if need be, depending on what's going on with the people.
So you're saying is that every month you make about like 1,500 to 2,000
Yeah,
each.
about that. Yeah, just off tattoos. Yes, sir.
All right, Mr.
Uh,
Conrad, when's the last time you filed for income tax with the federal government?
Uh, about 2 years ago when I had an actual place to do so, actual like spot to stay and have everything filed under.
All right, sir. So did you file for 2023 or 2022 or 2021? Do you recall?
All of those were automatically done through Intuit TurboTax for the previous years. When it started my tattoos from 2020 upward till now, all been self-filed.
All right, so here's the deal, sir. As part of the package that the state served on you was a request for a copy of your income tax returns for the last 2 years that you filed, for the last 2 years, and a copy for the last 12 months of your bank statements. Who you currently bank with, sir?
Navy Federal.
All right, then. So here's the deal, sir. Double check no, I'm sorry, the citation that you were served with the original petition, and in that it specifically spells out what you have to provide to that state for the purposes of figuring out what your child support is, sir. So it asks for bank records and W-2s and 1040s. That's all in there under request for production. Here's the deal, sir. Please read over that. It should have already been done. But I'm going to give you until the 31st of December to get all that to the state and CC the mom. And because the fallout from that, sir, if that's not presented and if that's not given to the state accordingly, then you may not be allowed to allowed to testify to anything else concerning your finances if that financial data has not been produced properly. Understood?
Understood.
Okay. All right, then. Is there anything else then, sir?
No, sir.
All right, then. Is there anything else, ma'am?
No, sir.
All right, then, Mr. Welch, have you done the math on? And I'm gonna. And when anybody says 1,500 to 2,000, I'll just go with 1,800 on this month as the amount until we get a copy of his Navy Federal stuff. So you get any type of you get a disability?
No, sir.
All right, are you a military retired? We are in the United States military?
No. Military family, but not military
Oh, okay.
myself.
I was wondering about the
Yeah,
Navy
yeah, the
Federal.
bank
Okay.
is weird.
Okay. All right. I know the Navy Federal you can keep. It's a little easier to keep than USAA. So yeah. Anyway, so Mr. Welch, do the math on 1,800 a month and just find out what the cash medical is and the child support, and that's what the court and obviously that is somebody who's in private and they're working for themselves. So you need to use that branch of the formula to figure out what his child support should be based on those amounts.
yes, Your Honor. I would like to ask Mr. Conrad if he has any other children besides Damien.
Correct. All right. All right,
Do you
sir. Go ahead.
I do. I have full custody of my oldest son, Nicholas Charles Conrad Jr., 11 years old. Had full custody since the incarceration of his mother back in 2020.
Mm-mm.
Okay, for right now, okay, ma'am, don't interrupt his testimony.
Sorry.
But for right now, I'm only looking at going forward. We'll get the dates as far as the when that percentage may come into play on the retro, but we'll save that for final. But for right now, sir, you do have a child, another child, no matter what, correct? How many other children do you have that are your biological children or have been adopted by you?
One biological child, full custody under my
All right,
house.
that full custody doesn't matter. It's just the fact that he's your biological child is what the state looks at. So
We'll do one in, one out, Your Honor.
good enough.
All right. It'll just be a few minutes.
Okay. Put it into the calculator and we'll figure this one out in just a moment then. And again, ma'am, it doesn't matter whether or not the child's living with him, as long as he's got a biological child out there or an adopted child, that affects the percentage, not the fact that the child lives or doesn't live with him.
No, I know.
Okay.
Your Honor, current child support would be $257 per month.
Okay.
And then the cash medical would be $41 per month.
All right, folks, for the temporary order, and again, this is just for the next 2 months, December and January. I'm going to go ahead and order temporary child support at $257, cash medical at $41. That's due on the first day of the month, sir, but if it's not paid by the last day of the month, then you're in violation of the court order, and the court will have the opportunity to reformulate that child support amount or figure out what it might be going forward. Based on the income information you provide the state as far as your bank records and your tax form, sir. And since you don't work, you work for yourself, you're self-employed, there's obviously no W-2. So that's the data comes really from the tax returns and from the bank accounts. So at this time, I'll start with you again, ma'am. Any questions, anything else?
If he doesn't follow through with the child support the next 2 months, do I mention that the next hearing?
We'll know about it, ma'am. It's got to come through the state disbursement unit. Sir, in the order, it'll tell you where you have to send it to. You can say you're self-employed, so you can do it electronically. You can go on the AG's website and do it. You can go to any Walmart or CVS pharmacy and do it by MoneyGram. They charge a real cheap price for that, and you'll always get an electronic sheet if you do it by those methods. And you can technically send it in by post to the state disbursement unit down in San Antonio. But they once lost a client of mine's $10,000 cashier's check, so I don't like them as much as I used to. So, but luckily it was a cashier's check, and we got it back within 30 days. So, but the bottom line is, sir, it's left up to you to pay that and pay it through the proper source. And then, ma'am, if it comes through, we'll have electronic confirmation that it was paid.
Do I get it through like a check in the mail, or is there like a card?
Ma'am, you can go online and get all that information, but you will need to go in and set up your account for that purpose, ma'am.
Okay.
It's not an automatic deal.
Okay.
But that's all through the AG's website.
Okay.
But you'll get a copy of the order, and then you can go online, and I'm sorry, that's the way you used to be able to do it. Is that still the way to do it, Mr. Welsh? Once you get a copy of the order, then go online and set up the account, or do y'all have to do that now? Because again, y'all change the rules on me all the time. So.
She has a case with us, so she should be able to go online and access her case now. And I can have a child support officer get with her to explain to her a little bit of how that would work. But she should be able to do it get her money through direct deposit. I know they did cards at one point. So
they deposit it to a debit card, ma'am, or they do it to your bank account. There's all different methods. You just pick which way you want, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, any other questions then, ma'am?
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Conrad, anything else, sir? Any other questions?
Sir.
All right, see everybody in January. If that turns out to be one of those icy snow days, don't worry, you'll get the reset order because, this is Texas. You throw a snow cone on the ground outside in January and it'll shut down traffic for 2 days. So, it is what it is. Anyway, I'll see everybody then. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. And I'll see y'all. I hope that's not we don't do cases on Friday usually. So I know it's not a Friday 13th, but we'll see you on January 13th. Thank you. We're off the record.
thank you, Your Honor.
So this mom uses paternity as a weapon. 1 second she says he's dad, and when they argue or she gets mad at him, she says he's not. And I'm really glad that the judge said they could do paternity. They could do the DNA test, because even though his son is past the point of doing the paternity regularly, if she's using fraud to get him to pay support, then they can reopen paternity. they can look at it again. And this poor guy, all he wants to do is be in his son's life. And mom just wants the cash. She just wants the money. That's all she talked about, was the money. How am I going to get it? How can I get it? When can I get it? How's it going to come to me? She just cared about that. So I'm really glad that they did that. The only thing I disagreed with is that the judge is not allowing or not requiring visitation. He's not requiring him to have a relationship with his son until they know that it's his son. And I can see, good and bad in that. I think that if he has to pay the support at this point in time, then he should be able to see his son at this time. That's my opinion. I don't think it's right that he's saying, well, you have to pay this, but you don't get to see him. That's wrong. I think that's wrong. So that's my opinion. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you another time.